Gary, a great win away from home today. You must be pleased with that performance.
Yeah, delighted. I thought the boys were excellent. I thought we were nearly in complete control of the game. I think the only real spell was when Dumbarton scored, and then they had a little bit just before half time. But I thought the players were excellent. I thought we looked a real threat going forward. Jammy's just told me probably the amount of efforts we've had at goal, and it's probably the most that we've had in my 20 months here as a manager. So that's very, very pleasing. I do think we should have had some more goals if I'm being really picky. But I thought the players again, we had to play a different formation today than we did for last week. 5 or 6 players missing. Big players for us, and I was a wee bit worried about the central defence because we had Aaron Steele missing, we had Nicky missing, and we had Kyle Banner missing. We had to ask wee Kinley to play in there next to Gregor, and I thought he was outstanding. He was probably the best player on the pitch. So really, really pleased, and it's great that the players, while we're mindless bodies, everybody's chipping in and they're trying to take on board the information we give them, because it's not easy to go from formation to formation to formation. There's information that you've got to take on. But in the main, the players are doing it, and we were determined to try and finish this first quarter with a victory. And the players have managed to do that. And I think over this last 4 or 5 games, Falkirk, Queen of the South, Inverness, Dumbarton, the only one where we were probably below par was against Montrose. So that isn't a bad ratio. Quite a good level of consistency. And as I say, with the 2-week break coming up now due to the game the Rangers being postponed, it was important to try and finish with a positive result, and it probably is a nice time for us because hopefully we can try and get 1 or 2 of the injured players back for the game against Alloa on the 19th.
You've touched on that there are quite a lot of injuries in the squad. Are you able to give a wee update on some
Yeah,
players?
listen, you get injuries. They just now a lot of ours have came in the one position. If you count young Dean Aitken, we've got 5 central defenders at the club and 4 of them are out injured. So that can sometimes hurt. You're okay maybe if you get 1 centre half, 1 full back, 1 midfielder, 1 striker because you've got the squad. So listen, we're going to be without Nicky still for a period of weeks. Kyle Banner's got a small fracture in his foot, a stress fracture. We'll just have to see how he heals really. It's one of these that you just have to wait and see how long he's going to be out. So that's 2. Aaron Steele's had a virus for a week, and he also got a little knock against Queen of the South that forced him off at half time. So hopeful that Aaron will be back in a couple of weeks. I wouldn't think Kyle Banner would. I wouldn't think Nicky. Kai Jacobs was maybe 2 to 4 weeks for getting back first team contention. Ross Taylor's probably the worst out of them all. Ross has probably got to be a matter of months just with his groin. Corey's went on the bench today after 1 training session for us. After being out for 5 weeks, so the couple of weeks break will do him good. And Nat's had 2 or 3 injury problems over the last couple of weeks. It's forced him not to come off, and he was also ill, but he came along today and sat on the bench for us for 25 minutes because we were short of bodies, and that's the sort of mentality we need in the squad. Curtis as well, we had a bereavement in the family. His gran passed away. The funeral was on Friday. We told him he could miss training if he wanted on Thursday. No, I'm coming to training. Told him he could miss today. He says, no, I'm coming. And that's some attitude, especially when you know that you buried a member of your family and you're coming to sit on the bench because he knows that Darren's going to play. But that's the sort of attitude these lads have had. They've got, and it's what we're going to need if we're trying to get to where we want to be. So I'm delighted for them. Really, they deserve all the praise that they're going to get for the last 2 or 3 performances.
Thanks very much, Gary.
Cheers.